When it comes to calisthenics, particularly with skills, the main reason for plateaus or just generally an inability to reach our goals is simply a lack of strength. If we want to be able to muscle up, we can talk about the transition, but ultimately, if we aren't strong enough to pull up high, we will fail. Similarly, with the front lever, we can work on our technique, but frankly, we first need to reach silly heights with our pulling strength to even entertain this as a target. But beyond just telling you to be strong and don't not be strong, what does building strength actually mean for bodyweight training? And more specifically, how do we optimize for these strength gains and ensure that we give ourselves the best foundation to build on? Well, a good place to start is to actually understand how strength works. So when it comes to building it, there are two levers we can pull, either increasing our muscle or becoming more efficient with the muscle that we already have. When we can't do a skill or an exercise, it's because we can't recruit the motor units to produce the force needed to do what we're demanding our bodies to do. By increasing our muscle mass, what we're very literally doing is increasing the amount of contractile units that we can call upon to produce force. As with all effective forms of resistance training, we build this muscle by training close to failure, and by increasing the amount of resistance over time, aka progressive overload. But this only increases our potential to display strength. Once we have the muscle, we need to actually be lifting heavy, close to our 1 rep max to make that potential a reality. For many of us, we lean towards doing one more so than doing the other. Either we smash out way too many reps thinking we can AMRAP our way to strength, or on the opposite side of the spectrum, we live in this 1 to 3 rep range, where we only do heavy work or skill attempts, which, aside from being very tricky to recover from, make plateaus all the more likely. These approaches need to be balanced for us to hit our potential, and the way I personally achieve this is by doing 6 to 8 week rolling rotations where we spend about 6 weeks focusing on muscle gain and then 6 weeks working on strength. If you want more info about how I do that, full video by clicking on the card. There are many advantages to this methodology, but the main one is to do with the adaptations that we profit from by doing it in this way. For example, in the higher rep range of a hypertrophy cycle, we build muscle. That much is obvious. But we also level up our connective tissue, meaning that when we come to our strength phase, we're not relying on weak joints to pull us through reps where we're working at or near our 1 rep max. And we can't talk about strength in calisthenics without talking about relative strength. With weights, we typically have one strength goal: lift the thing. But in calisthenics, that goal is far more nuanced. Lift the thing, but also, I am the thing. This means that strength to weight ratio becomes all the more important. By lowering our weight, more specifically reducing our body fat, we decrease the burden on our muscle to complete a movement and so give the impression of being stronger. Reducing fat while maintaining or even building muscle is far easier said than done though. So I'll be making a full video on body recomposition, specifically when it comes to calisthenics training. Let me know down in the comments if that's something that you want to see. As a public service announcement though, I do want to highlight some common mistakes that I see when it comes to building strength, and the first one of those is not working on our weak links. Crowd, we are only as strong as our weakest link, and our central nervous system will literally limit our force production if it thinks we'll injure ourselves. Calisthenics, being all about the shoulders, means that we'll need to have a solid base in this area in order to achieve even the most basic calisthenics exercises. But fixing weak links could also extend to resolving imbalances one side to the other, becoming more mobile so we're not fighting against our joints as well as gravity, or simply fixing issues with our form to make sure we're not wasting effort. Another common error that those tunnel visioned on strength training make is spamming negatives. Crowd, negatives work best when used as part of a periodized program where we need to achieve something that may be just outside of our reach. Having a whole workout centered around negatives just because we want to build strength is a fast way to get to nowhere. We are up to 30% stronger on the eccentric portion of a movement, but if we overutilize this technique on movements well outside of our comfort zone, we run the risk of plateaus at best or injuries at worst. And then we have those of us that hyperfixate on straight arm strength. If we have a goal at the front lever, it makes sense to work on straight arm progressions due to the said principle. Specific adaptation to impose demands, yada yada yada. But similar to the muscle gain point that we mentioned earlier, we increase our straight arm potential by increasing our bent arm strength first. Handstands become easier if we can handstand push up or pike push up. Front lever is more achievable the stronger our pull up is. The way I personally balance this is to have a skill focus at the start of my workout that tends to have more of a straight arm focus, but then I follow this up with the corresponding bent arm exercises that will ensure I'm consistently increasing my capacity for strength, as well as building strength through a wider range of motion. Crowd, this is how I have developed my strength as a calisthenics-based athlete, and if you want to see the skills that I've learned while building to this, then check out this video right here.